Welcome back to my channel. My name is Brianna, and in this video I wanted to highlight a few of the books that I've read in regards to the disparities in healthcare among Black people. The way that I got these books was I was in the doctoral program and I was going to do my dissertation on the maternal mortality rates among Black women. So I had started on the healthcare administration side, so I started diving into healthcare as a whole, like the process of healthcare as a whole. So I have books that are just specifically healthcare, basically the downfall of healthcare. So I have those types of books. And then once I narrowed down my topic and knew that I wanted to focus on maternal mortality rates, I kind of took a deep dive into it. And there are some books that I read and probably overly highlighted that I want to show you. So, and here they are. And I'm pretty sure there are more, but at the time, these are the ones that I felt were going to help me the most. I also went online and read a lot of articles on the subject and also read other dissertations on the subject. So it helped me determine which direction I really wanted to go with it. Unfortunately, I ran out of money, so I was not able to complete the program. However, I kept the books because something keeps telling me that eventually one day I'll be able to go back. So I kept the books. The books that I want to highlight, though, the first one, Killing the Black Body by Dorothy Roberts. And all of these books are very, very important. Majority of them, they start off with the history and how, we were pretty much experimented on from a very early time. And some of them talk about eugenics and how birth control was tested on us and certain surgeries were tested on us and how our bodies were dug up to be used as cadavers in medical schools. So this one, along with Medical Apartheid, both great books that need to be read. And I can't say enough about how eye-opening these books are. And what these books did was give me a foundation. So when I was going to do my paper, I would obviously highlight and take quotes and then do further research, but it was giving me the foundation I needed to base my dissertation on, because they clearly highlight the differences in how Black people, especially Black women, were treated throughout history. Another good book that showcases the disparities for healthcare, Medical Bondage. Medical Bondage is another good one. And Just Medicine. This is more talking about how to fix, or as it says, cure racial inequality in healthcare. So it offers, I don't want to say it offers it offers solutions, but these books are very, very detailed in the things that Black people experience. Sometimes the books are like Black, brown, and then some are strictly geared towards what Black people experienced. And it's good to have all of these different points of view, where, and I don't want to say, I say points of view, but the history is the same. It is just the way that it's written can be different from author to author, but the history obviously remains the same. So I was getting the same facts to kind of base the foundation on, and then from there I would start to say, like, this is the route that I want to take with the healthcare aspect of it. So now that we have our foundation from these 4 books, and these books are so well written, so full of just information that if you're not searching for it, you just won't know, because a lot of it was eye-opening for me. I honestly want to say I stumbled upon the topic of maternal mortality rates, and it happened right around the time I was pregnant with my second son, or right after I had him, because I think around the same time Serena Williams had just given birth, and she was talking about her birth experience and the blood clots and how nurses didn't want to listen to her, and when she was trying to explain, like, hey, this is something I've been experiencing, and they just didn't want to listen to her, and she almost died. So I honestly didn't know that was an issue for us. So when it came down to, teachers were like, hey, what would you want to do your dissertation on, that just kept like hitting me in my face. So that's why I wanted to do maternal mortality rates. And in the beginning, it was like it was going to be healthcare administration. So I was looking for, like behind the scenes, like what policies and procedures could be implemented that way. And then when I really was like, this is an on the ground issue, then I was like, I want to change to Doctor of Public Health, because I felt like that's where the issue was, and that's where you would impact more people. So then once I figured that part out, then the books became more specific. So this is The Afterlife of Reproductive Slavery. And man, these books are very heavy. So you kind of have to be prepared to learn your history and learn it well with a lot of detail. So these books always started off with the foundation of the history of medical care for us in the beginning. And then these books, the following books, are more specific towards Black women during times of slavery and what happened, and the surgeries and the no medication, and just how horrible. And it talks about, how they felt that we did not experience pain, and that we would go through certain reproductive issues because we were these I don't even know a good word to put it. I don't like using, but they just assumed that we were these promiscuous women, and we developed these things or went through certain things because of that. So we have this one, and then Reproducing Race was another one that I was using for research, and I started off highlighting, but for some reason I went to like doing brackets and parentheses for some reason. I believe it was like because I couldn't find highlighters, and that just made it easier instead of looking. Then we have Medicalizing Blackness, and like I said, some of these books were hard to get through, only because you can't believe, like, it's hard to believe that, people felt comfortable with doing these types of things to us. And that's kind of what it was for me reading these books. I'm a very black and white thinker. I'm very logical. So when I would read some of these things, like some of the diseases that they said that we had, or the mental illnesses that they said that we had, they they just didn't make sense. And I think it's because you read it from a place of now, and you're just like, how could someone believe that I'm mentally ill because I don't want to be a slave, and I don't want to be experimented on, and I don't want to go through all of these things, so I'm mentally ill. But yes, I was reading this book as well, Medicalizing Blackness. And I would have to say these are the two books, Battling Over Birth and Reproducing Race, which dived more into pregnancy and how Black women were treated during pregnancy. Because especially this book has actual interviews from women, that were experiencing issues with their doctors during pregnancy, and a lot of them ended up going to like birthing centers and doulas and things like that because they felt like they weren't being listened to by their doctors. A lot of them felt like they were being talked down to, that they were being considered like angry, and simply for asking questions and wanting to be active participants in their own care, they were labeled, angry and disgruntled. And it hit home because, like I said, at the time, I believe I was pregnant with my son, or it happened right after I had my son, and I had experienced my own issue with a PA who, while I was pregnant, and I was experiencing like extreme back pain because I had back issues, still have back issues, but I had a back injury while I was in the military before I got pregnant with my second son. And I remember like the attitude that she gave me, and just was like, well, what do you want me to do about it? And I remember like just getting up and walking out of the doctor's office. Before I did that, I went to the front desk, and when I scheduled another appointment, I was like, I don't care who you give me, just do not give me that woman right there. So it was like experiencing, an issue with healthcare that was fresh, kind of made all of the things I was reading like really hit home. So it, and especially now that I'm the parent of a special needs child, like I notice the disparities even more. And everything just brings me back to these books right here. And even in the books, they talk about how even now in medical schools, there's not a lot of discussion about how to interact with, I don't want to say interact with us, but to not have these stereotypes for us, where they feel like we don't experience the same level of pain as, say, someone of another of a Caucasian race, I'll just say. And so I just wanted to highlight these books, and I'm gonna put them, they should be on the screen, and then I'll put them in the description box as well. So you have Battling Over Birth, Black Women and the Maternal Healthcare Crisis. We have Reproducing Race by Kiara Bridges. We have Medicalizing Blackness by Rana Hogarth. And I'm sorry if I'm butchering these names. We have The Afterlife of Reproductive Slavery by Elise Weinbaum. We have Just Medicine, A Cure for Racial Inequality in American Healthcare by Dana Bowen Matthew. We have Medical Bondage by Deidre Cooper Owens. I've read many articles by her. She's a great resource. We have Killing the Black Body by Dorothy Roberts. Last but definitely not least, we have Medical Apartheid by Harriet A. Washington. And also not related to, maternal mortality or anything, but I'm currently reading Infectious Madness by Harriet A. Washington. And I've read one of her other books called Deadly Monopolies, which is about the healthcare system overall. And I just ordered her last book. I can't remember the title of it, but I know it's like how the environment plays a role. Weathering, allostatic load, all of that probably, but I'm excited to read that. But yes, Infectious Madness, and it's talking about, because I'm more than halfway through, and it's talking about how infections can play a role in your mental health. And I think the part I'm at now is talking about how your gut health plays a role with your mental state. But so she's just a great resource as a whole for healthcare system. And so yeah, I just wanted to highlight a few books for the I want to say Black history in healthcare. That's what I'm gonna say. These are a few books about the Black history of healthcare. So thanks for watching, and once again, I'm going to put the titles and the authors in the description box.